Now let's say somebody calls. Let me just go to my properties because I don't want to spend forever here. Now, if I go to my property list, you have a few different views. You can go this view or the next view. I'm going to show you the steps view, which is new here in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to pull this property up. So somebody in College Station called, "Hey, Chris, I want to sell." This section to me, this whole property section, everybody does this differently, but let me just give you my personal opinion because people want to understand what our process is. If I'm working a lead, I save it. I don't save it unless I'm working it because then it just eats up space here. Okay, but that's just me. We know we have people that go to REIPro, pull 5,000 leads and move them all to this section. I've got to talk to someone. I got to market people. That's just part of the process. So step one to me is that deal. Now, a couple of shortcuts here at the top, and these are just going to be popular things that you want to get to. So if you get to the executable steps we're going to talk about, if you want to just pull the comp screen, you could do that. Deal Pro is our deal analysis, which I'm going to show you. You could skip trace it. You can move it to a campaign. You can archive the property. You could also delete it from this point. Over to the right, if you are on a team plan, you can share this lead to a very specific member. Your processes may have 8 people that work underneath you. This person finds the leads, qualifies the leads, and maybe then moves it to another process because this person over here does the inspections. This person over here runs the analysis and so on. So depending on how you have your team set up, this is giving you the ability to kind of move this property through your own process. Next is notes. This is big. This is new and it's movable, which is pretty cool because now you could be anywhere and actually take some notes. So as an example, we don't have any notes here. I'm going to click the plus symbol. Seller called, motivated, need to see. As an example here, you do whatever you want. You could put numbers, you could put bullet points, and even a checklist, which I think is pretty cool. Now, with this note, I could just keep it as this note and I could say goodbye. So if I come back here, you could see that note and you can put in multiple notes here. You don't have to just rely on just one note. You can also set this as a follow-up. So now I can come in here and set a follow-up date. I can choose a calendar that it's going to go on. Plus, I could add a reminder. So let's say that I want a text alert as an example. You could do that here. When I hit save, one thing I want to show you is this big follow-up tag is going to be here. So to me, a follow-up is a priority note because a follow-up has to have language and a note behind it. You can always go back and uncheck that. So maybe it's not a follow-up and create another note as you see fit. And so highly encourage you use the notes. This is where I put notes. There's other places that you could put notes, especially in step 2, which I'm going to show you, but I really like using this.
Yeah, and these notes also interact with the dashboard calendar. So
Yep.
anything you're putting there on that calendar event shows up on the dashboard and so on.
Yep. If you have documents that you want to upload to this specific property, such as an HOA document, maybe a contractor bid, things of that nature, you could do that, which is be solely to this particular property. You can also email from this point, which we have a lot of new cool things with our email, especially like templates. Maybe you want to create an email template and have maybe multiple email templates. You could create that. It's going to speed up the process. Don't want to go too far in depth on the email side, but there's some really cool capabilities. You could print a property report. And as soon as I run the comps report, you can run a comps report. The arrows over here are just going to move to the next property or the previous property. We do have a new picture view here, which I love, man, especially when you just start putting pictures of this property in here. I love full screen stuff. Like I really want to see the pictures. You could do that. You can simply manage your pictures by clicking the 3 dots. One of the cool things is you can rearrange the pictures however you see fit. Add multiple pictures. They're going to be up here and uploaded. We store all that information for you. Underneath that is a star rating. This is up to you. How do you qualify this particular lead? Maybe it's a 3-star, not a 4-star, right? But it really is a 4-star. You're going to see the address. You could favorite this property, which will also interact with your dashboard of favorites and in your properties. When I go back into the main properties, you could just sort by your favorite properties. You could go in and edit information here by clicking this little pencil. You can also put in the asking price, which I really like having the asking price in here. We'll say it's 315. I can save this info. I like to have the primary contact. You could literally click this and it will call. Okay. If you click email, it's going to email. Okay. So just be aware of that. This is really going to be helpful if you're on a mobile phone and you want to call the seller. Okay. Obviously, the map is really cool. And we have added all kinds of things. Like I showed you over in REIPro, you're going to have a lot of capabilities here with this as well, such as the neighborhoods, the school systems. You can click Street View if you don't want to take this guy here and actually run it on the property. As we scroll down, we have what's called tags. Now, these are what we call kind of universal tags. You tag properties however you see fit. You name it whatever you want. You have the ability to edit these tags. You could delete it. So you just put whatever you want in here. So I could come in and I'll just pick one of my particulars here, apply that tag. You will see that here. So these tags here are going to be whatever you want to make it. Maybe I need to call the owner. Hey, we need to put under contract. Whatever tags you want to put here, you can.
And that allows you to also filter properties by tags on the main property list screen. That's what a lot of people use that for.
And then we move to the property analytics from estimated value. You can see the plus minus from the previous month, potential equity, estimated loan balance, difference in median price, the estimated mortgage payment. We do pull Zillow rent estimates, the only Zillow thing we pull in here. It gives us a potential cash flow. So if I know that their estimated payment is here, it could potentially rent for this. It's going to give me potential cash flow on this property. Last sold date as well as the school rating. So you've got the information in the forefront. You can hide this by this little arrow here as well if you don't want to look at it. The biggest system part and one of the very first things that we put in REIPro is this right here. And this is what I call the executable steps. This is the process that we keep talking about. What do I do now? From a step one, we're going to give you all the public data from public record to mortgage information, deed transfers, and so forth. You do have the ability to edit some of this information as well. When you do edit the information, you're going to see the color will change to show you that was edited. And then you have some custom fields, like maybe you want to put in a lockbox code as an example. You could obviously put that in notes as well.